In the words of a seasoned truck driver, sometimes you gotta stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And standing they are. A collective of truckers have decided to put their foot down, or rather, their wheels. They've stopped delivering goods to New York City, the heart of the Big Apple itself. Why, you ask? It all ties back to Donald Trump's legal fees. Now, these truckers aren't lawyers or politicians. They're everyday people, hauling freight, keeping the lifeblood of commerce flowing. They're the unsung heroes of our highways. But they found themselves caught in the crossfire of a political battle, and they're tired. Tired of seeing a man they support, Donald Trump, under constant attack by city politicians. For them, this isn't just about politics or party lines, it's about fairness. These truckers see Trump's legal fees as an undue burden, a weapon wielded by politicians who seemingly will stop at nothing to undermine him. They contend that these fees and the relentless legal scrutiny are less about justice and more about harassment, and they've decided to take a stand. By refusing to deliver goods to New York City, they're sending a message. They're saying, enough is enough. They want fairness. They want the city to drop these legal fees and stop what they see as a campaign of harassment against Trump. It's a bold move, a risky gambit, but they believe in their cause. They're not just truckers anymore. They're activists, using the only tool they have at their disposal, their trucks, to fight for what they believe in. They know the implications are massive. They know their decision will have ripple effects, impacting not just them, but also the people of New York City. But they believe this is a necessary sacrifice, a price to pay for fairness. And so, the wheels stopped rolling into the city that never sleeps. The decision didn't come out of nowhere. It was a long road that led to this standstill. Let's take a step back and trace the origins of this situation. The genesis of this issue can be traced back to when New York City officials began pursuing legal action against Donald Trump, claiming unpaid legal fees. The city's relentless pursuit of these fees rubbed many the wrong way, especially Trump-supporting truck drivers. The truck drivers saw this as a politically motivated attack, a witch hunt of sorts, targeting someone they held in high regard. As a result, feelings of discontent began to brew, and the first whispers of a potential strike started to circulate. Fast forward a few months, the legal pressure on Trump from New York City continued unabated. The truck drivers, feeling increasingly aggrieved, decided to act. They announced their intention to halt deliveries to New York City in protest of what they perceived as an unjust attack on their preferred political figure. This announcement sent shockwaves through the city's supply chain, causing immediate concern among businesses and residents alike. New York City officials, on the other hand, remained undeterred. They maintained their stance, stating that the legal issues with Trump were separate and should not impact the city's supply chain. Despite the city's attempts to keep the two issues separate, the truck drivers were resolute. For them, this was more than a delivery job. It was a matter of principle. They believed they were standing against an injustice, and they were willing to disrupt their livelihoods to make their point. In the ensuing weeks, the tension between the truck drivers and city officials escalated. The city held firm, refusing to back down on the Trump legal fees. The truck drivers, in turn, remained steadfast in their decision, refusing to resume deliveries until the city relented. As the timeline shows, the decision was an escalation of simmering tensions, a reaction to perceived injustices. Every action triggers a reaction, and this decision is no exception. The truckers' refusal to deliver goods to New York City has sent ripples throughout. Multiple city officials, fellow truck drivers, and the general public find themselves embroiled in a maelstrom of reactions, showcasing the varied viewpoints on this issue. New York City officials are grappling with a difficult situation. The city's economy is largely dependent on the consistent flow of goods, and the truckers' decision has put substantial pressure on this vital link. Some officials are calling for negotiations, acknowledging the truckers' right to protest. Others, however, see the move as a political ploy, criticizing it for causing disruption in the lives of millions for a single individual's legal issues. Reactions within the trucking community are also divided. Numerous truck drivers sympathize with their peers, understanding their irritation at what they see as unjust treatment of a figure they support. Some have even joined the protest, refusing to deliver to the city. However, not everyone agrees. Several truck drivers have denounced the move, arguing that their job is to transport goods, not to get involved in political conflicts. This split not only reveals the diverse political views within the trucking community, but also the differing interpretations of their professional duties. The general public's reaction mirrors this divide. Some view the truckers as heroes standing against political bias, while others condemn them as disruptive, putting personal politics before the city's needs. This polarized response highlights the larger political divide within society, with the truckers' decision acting as a microcosm of the polarized landscape. Hence, the truckers' decision is acting as a catalyst, sparking reactions across the board. The ripple effect it has caused demonstrates the potency of collective action and the deep impact such decisions can have on society in its entirety. It also raises important questions about the role of personal politics in professional spheres and the potential fallout when the two collide. The trucker's decision is acting as a catalyst, sparking reactions far and wide. The road ahead is fraught with potential pitfalls. If this standoff between truck drivers and New York City politicians continues, the implications could be far-reaching and profound. Let's start with the economic impact. Truck drivers are the lifeblood of our economy, transporting goods from one place to another. If truckers refuse to deliver to New York City, the economic consequences would be significant. Businesses would struggle to get their products, leading to a potential shortage of goods. The ripple effect would be felt across the city's economy, from small businesses to large corporations, and ultimately the consumers. On a social level, the impact could be just as profound. A lack of goods could lead to increased prices, making everyday items unaffordable for many. This could exacerbate existing social inequalities, further widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. The political fallout cannot be ignored either. This standoff is more than just about Donald Trump's legal fees. It's a symbol of the increasing polarization in our society, where political disagreements can disrupt our daily lives. If this situation escalates, it could deepen the divide, making it harder for us to find common ground and work towards a shared future. And let's not forget the potential for escalating tensions and conflict. If other groups take this as a cue to express their grievances through similar means, we could see a rise in civil unrest. This could strain our law enforcement agencies and create an environment of uncertainty and fear. In conclusion, the implications of this truckers' strike are not limited to the trucking industry or New York City. Its effects could ripple across the economy, society, and the political landscape, shaking the very foundations of our nation. If unchecked, this stand could lead us down a dangerous path. The question we must ask ourselves is this the road we want to tread? At the heart of this issue lies a critical question. A question that has been simmering under the surface as we've navigated the twisted narrative of trucker strikes, political power plays, and the man at the center of it all, Donald Trump. Let's break it down. On one side of the coin, we have the truckers, hard-working individuals who are tired of the relentless political attacks on a figure they support and respect. Their refusal to deliver goods to New York City is a formidable show of solidarity, a demonstration of their belief in fair play, and a bold stand against what they perceive as political harassment. Yet, on the flip side, we need to consider the ripple effects of this strike. Millions of innocent people in New York City are caught in the crossfire, their lives disrupted by the scarcity of goods. The economy takes a hit, businesses suffer, and the very fabric of everyday life starts to fray. And then we have the politicians, those in power who some would argue are using Trump's legal fees as a weapon in a larger game of political chess. But are the truckers, by refusing to deliver goods, not doing the same? Are they not employing their own means of pressure to achieve their ends? This is the dilemma, the tug-of-war between principles and practicality. Is it worth compromising the well-being of millions for the sake of one man? Or, on the contrary, is it a necessary sacrifice in the pursuit of justice and fairness? And here's the real kicker. By striking, Are we not mirroring the very actions we condemn? Are we not wielding power, just like the politicians, to push our agenda? This, friends, is the crux of the matter. It's a question that requires careful consideration, a balancing act between the scales of justice and the weight of reality. Are we willing to pay the price for our principles, or are we just adding fuel to the fire of divisiveness? It's a question we must all ask ourselves as we navigate the complex landscape of politics, power, and the people caught in the middle. Having taken a deep dive into the truckers' boycott in New York City, we find ourselves at a crossroads. We've explored the reasons behind this stand, the reactions it has elicited, and the potential implications it carries for the city's inhabitants and the economy at large. We've dissected the dilemma, pulled apart the layers of this complex issue, and laid them bare for you to examine. But now, it's time to turn the tables. The question is, what do you think? Do you stand with the truckers in their fight against political pressure, or do you sympathize with the millions caught in the crossfire? Do you believe in the power of principles, even if they come with a cost? Or do you think there's a better way to navigate this political chess game? We want to hear your thoughts, your perspectives, your voice. Leave a comment below to express your views on this issue. Let's keep the conversation going. Remember, every voice counts in this dialogue, and yours could be the one that sparks a change. After all, at the end of the day, it's not just about the truckers, the politicians, or the people of New York City. It's about all of us, navigating our way through the complex landscape of politics, power, and principles. So let's talk. Your move.